Alright, how do I do this? Boom. Copy link. 1 second. Boom. Alright. Alright. I did that way faster than I thought. So I'm just going to play some music. Everything you need's immediate. And anything you think is freely meant. By any means, everything you preach will see the end. Oh, we can filter it up. Hey, just let me think. Let's set the mood in here. If I should jump in the water. Bubbles. Jump in and sing. Alright, what's up, y'all? Some people are early in here. Jump in and sing. We're gonna give everybody else a chance to jump in here. I do not know what to do. I put some iron on shoes. What's at the bottom? No clue. What am I finding? No clue. What's right behind me? No clue. It's like my flight on my tomb. Why can't I fight off the doom? Yeah, hey, I hope that maybe I could shake it off soon. I feel like now I don't see challenges. Something, yeah. Never ever running, no. Ain't blocked yet, and if I am, scrape that left. Ain't no gang, I'ma still slide. Oh child, didn't know you had two sides. Whose side do you lie? Choose wise, realize I got shine, we pride. Ain't cry, in a while. Wussup, like a bad boys. I'ma have to face myself if I lack joy, black joy. I'ma eat it up till I'm fat joy. 6 years graduated, but still got the facts, boy. Throw a cap and gown out, water pressure drowned out. So sit down, face the fear, meet yourself out. Alright, it is 9 o'clock. What is up? My Patreon people. Somebody, Chelsea Shaw, what's happening? What is happening with you guys? Happy Saturday. Okay, I don't like this filter no more. I don't want this filter no more. I don't want this filter no more. Alright, let me just do a regular one. Bow. How's that looking? Alright, how's everybody's weekend going? I hope everybody had a good week. Hope we was all, focused, productive, doing everything that y'all was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? If you guys are just jumping in here, first of all, appreciate you guys. Patreon is a weird part of my life because I release a lot of stuff, so it's a interesting balance between releasing for everybody and making sure that you guys have some exclusivity because you guys are so nice to support me monetarily for my side ventures. So yeah, this will probably be one of the things that I start doing, giving you guys more of a chance to talk to me live. I'm just gonna leave this link up so that most of you guys can see it later. I did get a bunch of messages saying that they might not be able to make it because it was a little early. So I wanted to make sure to get this out early for the East Coast fans. I think it's like what, 11 or something over there, 11 or 12. It's 12. So yeah, I want to make sure I give you guys more of these, more exclusive music, and more piano videos for my fire patrons. Thank you guys. So yeah, some lightweight exclusive news. Hang on a second. All right, so some lightweight exclusive news for All Def. A bunch of people has been basically in my inbox asking what the fuck am I doing. My face looks really white. Ah! Didn't know you had two sides. Whose side do you lie? Choose wise, realize I got shine. All right. Something like this. God, I'm Pale McGee over here. Yeah. YouTube, this camera though. Let's work on it. But hey, you guys are seeing it. You guys are seeing the first ones. The first test ride. All right, I'm okay with this. So, back to what I was saying. So All Def, we're just gonna hold it. So my phone's being an asshole. You know what? No. Fuck you, phone. I own you. Damn phone. So sorry. All Def is actually working with Facebook right now. So we're releasing Kev on Everything, which was actually all shot out of house. I didn't work on that. I'm working on this new show, Working Wild, starring Tony Baker, and it was pretty much made for him, like for real. Like it was. This is his show. It's basically a cross between Dirty Jobs and Parts Unknown, which are two shows that I love. And he is basically going all around Los Angeles, meeting people who specifically work with animals. So it's a it is an animal show, but it's different because it focuses on the trainer. It's a lot of them are character pieces. So I'm gonna map it out I'm basically gonna map it out. Every episode is gonna be titled after who he's talking about. So he's meeting a shepherd named Ted. So we got an episode called Ted the Shepherd. We got Sarah the reptile specialist, Larry the beekeeper. Their names are so funny, which is why I wanted the title to be that. So, you know, we got Tony the falconer, Josh the high-end pet groomer. We got Charlie and Raymond, the pet photographers. What else we got? We got Tanya, the wolf mother, who runs the wolf sanctuary. She's a Native American. I said beekeeper. The other ones. Oh, we have Steve Martin, the exotic animal trainer, and he just has a huge estate with bears and lions and shit on his property. What else do we got? We got a movie set trainer, those people who work with animals on set. And is that it? I think that might be it. I don't know if that was 8, but as you can see, they're really exciting titles. Yeah, like Tony's great. Tony is great. We are 3 days in. We weren't able to scout all of them. So me, the producer, and the assistant director went out to the beekeeper yesterday, and we met him and hung out with him. So we're gonna be suited up, be ready for bee battle. So yeah, that is we shot 3 episodes. 2 episodes. We're shooting Falconer and Wolf Sanctuary tomorrow. So that's coming out on all DF digital. It's gonna air exclusively on Facebook Watch for I think 2 or 3 months, and then it's gonna move over to all our channels. All right, low battery, I get it. Let me put this on the charger. You ever fall asleep without charging your phone and wake up to a half-dead phone? This shit is infuriating. All right, so let me charge this up. All right, so what's up with y'all, man? There's a couple of you guys in here. I want to talk to you guys. I want to know how you guys' week was going. I told you about my shit. You feel me? I want to know how y'all week is going. All right, so we got Phenomenon the Poet. Okay, you must have phenomenal poetry. Wolf Sanctuary, this is some dangerous ass entertainment. Low key, okay? So there are a couple of dangerous episodes. That's why I made sure to go to all of these locations to make sure that it was safe for Tony. Because I don't like asking my actors to do anything that I wouldn't do or haven't done. So, for instance, we went to a reptile store, and they had these guns that shot salt. You can kill bugs like that. It's pretty amazing. I wanted her to shoot Tony, so I had to take it. I lifted my leg, and she shot me a couple times in the leg, and it hurt. But you know, my set was there. I had to look tough. So yeah, I went to all these locations ahead of time. The wolves were really nice. If they like you, they accepted me. So we're gonna have to have Tony spend some time outside of the cage. So with some of the animals, they're territorial. So you can't walk into their pen like, what's up? Because they're defending their land. But if you take them out of their pen or wherever their territory is and meet them in a neutral third party with someone they trust, like an animal trainer, they can maybe it's like hanging out with them, and then they'll let you into your house. So there's an episode where there's a whole wolf pack. It's not the one that accepted me. These wolves are actors, so they're meaner. We have to take them out of their cage. We got a black wolf named Shadow, and Tony's basically gonna walk this wolf through the woods. We set up like a lot of cool shots in the woods. Tony, I'm so jealous of this, by the way. Tony is going to walk a giant black wolf with an animal trainer. The animal trainer is gonna be holding the leash, and then sometime in 30 minutes, he's gonna pass the leash to Tony, and that'll be the transfer of trust. And then after that, Tony's good with that wolf. Just that wolf, though. So we have to do certain things for protection like that. You know, there is a bear. The bear needs 3 trainers, and apparently he's somewhat friendly. So I'm going to have to check that out. We saw it through a cage, but the trainers weren't there. So I low-key have to play with the bear before I ask Tony to play with the bear. So I'm kind of scared about that. That hasn't happened yet, but the wolves are good. We went to the beehive today. I didn't have a bee suit on. Apparently honeybees don't attack you unless you're up in their hive. So there are bees everywhere. They didn't sting any of us. But we will be having bee suits. The whole crew, Tony, the host, everybody will have a bee suit on. So low key, don't tell anybody. But I am carving. So when you're directing, you have a schedule that you have to stick by because you only have 8 or 12 hours depending on what your rules are that day. So you can't go over or you go into overtime. So you're really strict on the times that you have for each scene, right? So this isn't like a good practice, but there will be a part where the whole crew has bee suits on and we're shooting Tony. And I don't want to be so anal about the time that we're like, all right, everybody take the bee suits on, we need the next scene. Nah, we got a whole crew in bee suits, nigga. Like, I'm a real one. I be on the gram. So we set aside 10 minutes for Instagram pictures on the schedule. The crew doesn't know this yet. I don't even know if we're gonna talk to them about it until it happens. But I mean, we all in B suits. Like, we need to get it for the gram, right? Just want to make sure that everybody got they once in a lifetime opportunity stuff. But yeah, that to answer your question, phenomenon the poet. There are some dangerous animals, but we're doing everything we can to keep Tony safe. Super casual boom. What up? How you doing, man? Janelle Anita is currently in Arkansas. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I hear I hear some of y'all be with the shits up there, which is so random that Arkansas is a place you can get shot. Jamila Bailey. I tried to hide in the bathroom to watch this live, and my pig and dog just bullied their way in and closed the door. First of all, you have a pig. As a pet? You should name him, I saw this on the news, you should name him Chris, and his last name Bacon, and then make his middle name P with a dot, and then he's Chris P. Bacon. Pig puns. Shout out to Jamila's pigs. Super casual boom. Well, all those shots to your leg, you could say you were salty as fuck. Maybe. That was a callback. I got shot in the leg with a salt gun. You've just joined us. Nicholas Cagle, think you'll incorporate your wolf pack / turtle clan into your merch? Who said that? Nicholas Cagle? Well, I didn't know I was gonna be learning some stuff in this live. My nigga. Turtle Clan merch coming out soon. I have to do some Water Temple merch first, but that's next. That's next. Wolfpack, Turtle Clan, merch, Patrick Cloud. And I already got a thing for turtles. I got a turtle on my, yeah. Just in case you thought this shit was made up, these are my keys. I didn't know I was in the Turtle Clan, but I knew I was in the Turtle Clan. You feel me? You feel me? All right. Appreciate you, Nicholas. I got stung by the same wasp twice yesterday. Still feeling that. That nigga had beef. So you know what's crazy? I learned so much yesterday with this beekeeper. So this beekeeper, he goes around and he sometimes he has to take out hives or move hives or whatever. So African bees, and I don't know why the African niggas have to be the aggressive ones, but whatever, nature. African bees will sting you like. So we were trying to, get a sense of why aren't you guys in bee suits? Why aren't we in bee suits? We're new. The bees could be cool with you guys. Why aren't you guys protecting us during this scout? And he said that honeybees will not sting you unprovoked. That's a myth. However, African bees will. And he had to take out a African beehive, and I guess he killed a bunch of them and dipped. And the next time he was in that area, he stepped out of his car and got stung by like 3 or 4 of them all at once. And they had been circling the block looking for this nigga after he killed a hive. So they hold beefs. Like isn't that crazy? Like they remember him from smell or something. But fam, these bees got beef. You feel me? So wasps, I think they keep stinging. So he might be still looking for you. So you gotta probably end that. Kill that nigga. Phenomenon the poet. Transfer of trust sounds like how I feel about my Uber Eats driver. You guys are bringing some heat. Okay. I feel like at this point, every restaurant should respect the whole like stapling the bag shut. I don't know what we doing with drinks. I would just not order non-bottled drinks. I wouldn't order any like shakes or anything that you can just quickly take a sip of. I would definitely not
sip nothing that the straw just comes in. Like, nah. Uh, I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like DoorDash. I've had so many bad. I used to love DoorDash. Like DoorDash, I would have worked for y'all. Like I would have done some campaigning with y'all. But the amount of times I had to write customer service, either the driver just got lost and said, "F it, I'm eating this myself," canceled, late, didn't come at all. It was just so much. So for some reason, I feel like they be doing that. And there was that video, and it happened to be a DoorDash. So I switched over to Uber Eats, and it's just better for my mental to think that Uber Eats is better. But I don't know. I'm going out and grabbing the food a lot more because I got trust issues. Nice little sidebar. Jamila Bailey, at the end of the episodes, are you going to have links to where people can support the reserves and sanctuary? Boom! You are very smart. So we do. Anytime you mix animals and comedy, anytime you involve animals, period, you are unlocking. You're opening a door to a very devoted people. I'll just put it like that. And you know, since we work on the internet, we know that there are some things that you can't touch usually, like in a certain way. Like religion is tough, sexual orientation is tough, and animals. Like you got people riding really hard for all three groups. So we might definitely wanted to make sure that we didn't show any, anything wild in terms of like animals dying or, even in the animal reptile specialist episode, they wanted me to film the rats being eaten and the baby rats. They serve they call them pinkies. Rats when they're still pink, they haven't opened their eyes yet and they have no fur and they're just little babies. They feed those to smaller snakes, and it's really sad. The mom rats are trying to collect them and save them, but they can't, and they're stuck in that cycle. They wanted me to shoot that and have Tony, you know, nope. I think Tony wasn't into it. It didn't even. It changed the whole flow of the episode, and I mean I literally just went against what was asked. I didn't want that in the show, so uh, we didn't shoot it. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want people to see it. We get it. They feed them rats. You know what I mean? Show me the chameleon. Show me the iguanas. Like I get it. So yeah, we were really careful to not show too much of that, and to just bring it home. We have Tony doing a straight to camera call to action, either helping the business itself that he visited, if it was nonprofit like the Wolf Sanctuary, or a related cause or project. Based on whatever animal was, if it was falconry, donate to something that helps the birds. We ask as we go, but or it can just be a message. Like Ted the Shepherd had a really really good message about owning dogs and how dogs are bred to do certain things instinctually, and then we capture them and domesticate them and just have them cooped up in the house. So we have to be, he has a very strong message about letting your dogs do what they're born to do. And he takes dogs that were bred to herd and he takes them to the desert and lets them do what they want to do, and they lose depression and all that stuff. And, Tony obviously related that to humans, which actually I did a couple weeks ago when I first met Ted. And, Tony was sharp enough on set. He made that same connection and said, it's like humans. If we're not doing what we were instinctually born to do, then we don't feel right. We're depressed and all that stuff. So, Jamila, to answer your question, yes, we do have a little segment at the end to specifically, help out those animals. What else we get? Miss Simmons, corny, your mom. Jamila says, I like your name. It's beautiful. All right. I like the fan-to-fan support. I love it. Why is my booty meat all out? Is it? Looks like I just... You see it. Hot Boy Summer 2019. Chelsea Shaw said, hell no, that's why I don't do bees. Bees are actually really scary. I'm not as afraid of them after today, after learning. But some bees are pretty scary. Miss Simmons, so you saying they out here taking hits on niggas? Yeah, that's a little crazy, isn't it? And bees jump. Bees jump things. Like, I just saw a video of a wasp, but some things be wandering into the hive trying to collect the honeys and stuff. But the wasp came in there and killed this little bee, and then like hundreds of bees jumped on this dude. They don't play that shit. They killed the shit out of that wasp. But yeah, I found out that like, you know, we only see maybe 20% of the bees that are in the hive. They send out scouter bees and pollen bees, and they go and, you know, they eat a bunch of nectar and hold that in their stomach, and then they put a bunch of pollen in their back legs, and they go back to the hive. And the pollen they eat for protein, and the nectar they ferment until it becomes honey, and then they eat honey. And when we collect honey, I thought we were robbing them, but they have so much honey and so much backup honey that we always leave them enough to be good. I'm like so beat up right now. Like, ask me some shit about bees if you want. Y'all can ask me anything, but I got the bee knowledge on deck. Janelle and Tia. All right, you got some cool names in here. Hey, be grateful. LOL. I see what you did there. I'm from South Carolina, and we don't have Uber Eats or Uber. Y'all don't have Uber, period? Y'all don't have Uber regular? Is it like a countryside town or something? Okay. I bought one of those banana walnut bread candles the other day, and you were right. It's fire. I love coming home to my whole house smelling like a bakery. Woo! Who was that? Jamila Tixiera. Damn, y'all got some fancy ass names out here. I'm sitting over here, a whole Patrick. Yes. Wow. That made me kind of sad because I feel like I fell off my scented candle game. I used to have it smelling right. Dang, I gotta get some scented candle. You said what? You got banana walnut bread. Damn. I think I used to do that. Did I tell you to get that specific one, or did you just find that? Because I feel like that's totally up my alley. I gotta get some candles for here and my house. Cause I want everywhere I lay my head potentially to smell like beautiful. I got it because of a video I made. Oh, okay. So I did the banana walnut bread. Well, thank you for listening and then teaching me back, Jamila. That's hilarious. Super casual boom. A question. What's honestly the most inconsiderate thing fans be saying that upsets you? I really feel for you when you say stuff like $4, can I get a job at ADD? I'm funny and such. I be hearing some wild stuff. But you know, you just have to take it for the context that it's at, you know, like, you know, I'm fortunate enough to be in a position where I can give jobs and make shows that have launched people's career, or not launched it, but put them in a position to launch it themselves. And so, you know, just to go one by what you said, you know, people asking for jobs or pitching ideas and stuff like that, like, even though they can be very aggressive and rude sometimes, it's the context in it. You know, I'm lucky enough to be in a position where I can potentially take a part in, you know, helping that person. But you know, I think that with everything, just space and respect is often overlooked. Um, with, you know, with a lot of things, with that side of it, obviously, because that can, you know, aggression in that specifically is a little different because, like I said, context. If I'm in a position that can help them and I don't know what's going on in their life, they might be like, you know, help me, you know. So I don't, you know, even though I will check it, I don't mind aggression in areas like that. But a lot of time it'd be unnecessary because it's the internet, you know, and the internet just doesn't like change. So if you wrap your head around that, you know, a lot of times people in the comments are upset about a change, not necessarily you. Because, like, for instance, I was working behind the camera way longer before I was on the channel. So I got a chance to see it from a non-talent point of view. Thank God, because it goes in cycles. When I first got to All Def, somebody named Mikey was hosting the drop, and everybody talked shit about her in the comments. I hate your voice, blah, 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 blah. Then Jay Snow and Cynthia came, and everybody was like, where's Mikey? These people suck, blah, 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 blah. Even though I saw how they felt about Mikey. And they just hated the change, but they took it out on Snow and Cynthia. After Snow and Cynthia, Megan Tahir came. Where's Snow and Cynthia? The channel's dead. Blah blah blah. They say the channel's dead every month, every change. So, and then all of a sudden, Megan Tahir became the shit. You know what I mean? So it's like you just gotta wait it out in certain points and understand that with every change, some people will say fuck this, and you might get new people, and there will be a lot of people who say, I don't like the change, but these new guys are funny, you know. So, you know, we saw Teddy come and go, you know, and the Where's Teddy was a huge thing, you know. We saw, you know, people like Kev and Doughboy, and now we're in that era where, you know, people are starting to see the new faces, the new squad, and you know, we got half the people still riding with us. Like, yeah, these dudes are tight. I like these guys. You know, they're bringing their fan bases in, but obviously, you know, the people who come and go get a big fan base who stay, and they don't like the change. So you can't blame these people. You just have to understand, and then, you know, you just have to also understand that there are just trolls. There are just people who will just go into your comments and say you suck, or you ain't shit. And they may actually feel like that. They may not. You may actually, you know, that's why it's tough. You can't really respond to stuff like that, 'cause sometimes it's just like, oh man, I'm just kidding, man. I just wanted a reaction. Um, so yeah, there's a bunch of ways that it can happen. You know, the whole like, I'm not paying $4 for this stuff, blah 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 blah. It's just like, okay, there's just a lot of stuff you kind of just have to put up with because, for instance, you know, there was a long time where the channel was very racial. We all I was in sort of like a group of producers that all did For the First Time and Is It True, that was based off of cultural and racial relations, which at first was really interesting, but after we ran out of ideas, it got really racist and it became stupid, and we were doing stuff like black people do eat tacos for the first time, and it's just like once we did black people go hiking for the first time, I remember we came back in our next meeting, I raised my hand and I was like, I think that's enough. I think we can stop all of this, and I thought that I was gonna get a lot of backlash. I was like, I don't want to do racial comedy anymore. I want the channel to be just funny. And everybody was like, oh, thank you. Like, let's do that. And I was like, oh, okay. So, you know, I personally think that that's when the channel got its stamp. But there's a lot of people who liked For the First Time and Is It True? And, you know, Patrick Cloud ruined the channel. Patrick Cloud, blah, 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 blah. So that's been going on forever, and you kind of just have to take that to the chin. Now, on a personal level, that's not business related. I think that probably one of the rudest things that hurts, because all that other stuff is just like, okay, is when a follower or fan deeply connects to my message, right? or whatever, one thing, and then like flips it on me for a completely different unrelated reason. You know what I mean? Like I'll, talk to anybody. Obviously I have a message of protecting your light and protecting yourself and your mentality, so that allows me to get close to you guys and relate to you guys on a whole nother level. And I try to talk to you guys as much as I can. um, but then I'll get messages that get lost in my inbox, or I'm just doing other stuff. And even though I just had a great conversation with with one person to help them out, that turns into like casual conversation. Like I've opened messages that was like, hey, what's up, blah blah blah, hey, what's up, what's going on, oh, you're not answering me anymore, and it just turns violent, like fuck you then, blah 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 blah, just because I wasn't able to keep up a constant text relationship with them or something like that. And it's just like, what, or it'll turn like that into like hitting on me or like trying to fuck me. And then it's like when that doesn't happen, it's like fuck you, blah 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 blah. And it's just like, but what about the message? Like, I think that's the one that's just like when I see fans sort of turn just because of something that's very surface level. That's when it's kind of just like, all right, you hopefully I helped, and I'll let them do their thing. But it sucks to see such strong support turn into, I don't know if it's real or just some type of hate because of like because of something that's small. Okay, there's a lot of questions I missed. That was a great question. I don't know who asked that. Super casual, boom, we out here. Janelle and Tia, we have Uber, but it's so country nobody trusts it. They just pull up and throw the bag against your door. Okay, my favorite, Nicholas Cagle. My favorite right now is the Life's a Breeze Yankee Candle. Some little oceanside scents. All right, I'm glad we got some scented candle fans up in this. The Lazy Cajun. You guys have great names. I just want to say it's been a blast watching your progress. Aw, and I'm a huge fan of your music. Man, y'all nice. What advice would you give to someone who is trying to break into script writing and songwriting? I think that the best advice I can give for that is to study it traditionally up into a certain point, if not timeline wise, not necessarily like up until 2 years, just like mentally until you get to some point, and then focus on your own style. And I want to be careful in saying that because I don't want you to. A director told me a really cool thing. They said that people try to make a style, whereas when you do something, that is your style. So for instance, like you might have a friend who watches you do something every day, and let's say before you sit down, every time before you sit down, you walk up to a chair and you go like this. So what's up? You don't even know you do that, but every time you do give a little shimmy. You probably have like one or two friends that know that, and they'd probably tell you like, "Hey, you know that before you sit down, you do like a little thing." And you're like, "Really?" That is your style. You know what I mean? Like what you do just in like instinctually and naturally is your style. You can obviously try to do certain things, but I don't. That was like a really good piece of advice. Don't like sit there and be like, "This is my style. I'm gonna try to do this," because it might be forced. So just do it how you would do it naturally, and let that be your style. Um, but I do want you to, as a creative, focus on what separates your stuff. A lot of people get caught up in learning stuff textbook, paragraph by paragraph, and then emulating that. And then what you have is just like an assembly line of the same type of stuff. So as a songwriter, don't worry about what's out, everybody who is popping right now that has their own distinct style that everybody loves. went through a very long period where that was not accepted. You know what I mean? Look at anybody who's highly stylized right now, just in hip hop. Travis Scott. Travis Scott says that his specific sound, he pitched it for a very long time to no avail, and now everybody else is latching on to that. You know, even if people don't latch on to it, it's still yours. Like Tyler the Creator. Tyler the Creator has a very specific style. I don't really see anybody biting it because it's very out there. Nobody really copies it like that. Maybe they copy certain elements, but nobody. I don't see a lot of Tyler's children on in the rap game. At least in this era. Maybe there will be an era. But even so, it's just his, and look how well that's working out. So, I think that especially for songwriting and script writing, you gotta do that thing that who asked me this. You gotta find that thing that the lazy Cajun does specifically. You know what I mean? Oh, there's that like Sorkin, the writer. Everybody refers to his dialogue as Sorkin style. So you got to find that thing, that the lazy Cajun, this is how she does her transitions. This is how she always does her dialogue. This is how she always does her thing. Find that. Find how her sound, her songwriting style. Find all of that, and don't. It's your style, so why are you listening to advice or criticism about it? Just do it. And with music and songwriting, music and script writing, we're so lucky. We're in a creative thing. It's not like athletes where, you're a basketball player, you scored this amount, you're this good, we're in a business. Drake said it was like we're in a business of opinions. So, you know, if your validation is attached to opinions, then your mood depends on who you're around. If you're around the people that are like, "You the shit, you're so good," you're gonna get a big head. But if you're just around the people that are, this sucks, blah blah blah, you're just gonna be like, "Man, I'm shitty." So you just can't attach. You have to let you're the shit be like, "Cool, that's cool." You suck. Cool, that's cool. It has to still fall to the wayside to your own opinion. And that's what we never do. We never say what our opinion is before releasing stuff. We make something, drop it, and then look in the comments. Is it good? Is it bad? No. You have to be like, this is good. I like this. I think it's this. Boom. And then all the other opinions is just like, oh, this is what other people think. That was a good question. And a good answer. I can say that. Phenomenon the Poet. You ever tasted edible candles? They're like chocolate candles with edible wicks. That sound like some freaky shit. I can tell you a freak. Yeah, you freaky. I have not done that. Jamila Bailey, are you single? If so, why and what is your ideal mate? Trying to be queer friendly. Oh, okay. Wait. Queer friendly? Okay. I am into females. I don't know what that means, but I'm rocking team female. I am single. I haven't had a relationship in a few years by choice. It's just not that part of my life. I think that with everything going on and how much I'm creating, I found that when I did slice that part into my life, it just it just it was just more negative than positive, and that had nothing to do with the female. She was great. I'm just saying in terms of like, my mental, like, I'm trying to do this. Like, this is what I'm put on this earth to do. I'm trying to do this. So like, I figured out that that's what I'm trying to do. So if I'm with somebody, they have to either accept that and let me do that, or I can't, because obviously females will lie and say that, yeah, I'm down with all that stuff. But then instinctually, and it's not their fault. That's just how a relationship works. It becomes about, everything you're not doing and everything you need to be doing better. And then it's like, now when before I was single and just creating stuff and focusing on this, now I introduced this other element into my life, and now I'm arguing on the side, and like, it's just like all this stuff that wasn't present before. So I just need to be honest with myself and realize that that's not my life right now, and stick to my goals. Because what can't happen, I be hearing about people who jump in a relationship and then they go all in, and you know 10 years pass, and then something that falls apart, and then you're looking back like, well, shit, I put all this stuff on hold. That will I ain't even, like what Kashi 69, I ain't even gonna give you the opportunity, stupid. I ain't even gonna give you the chance. So my ideal mate is someone who understands that, like, locking up to somebody and locking them down in your early mid 20s, like, isn't necessary. Everybody thinks that's necessary. Everybody is just like, oh my god, I'm almost 30 and I'm not married with 10 kids. Like, what? 30? There's a lot of pressure on people to just like lock it in and settle down, and I'm just like, I can't listen to that right now. I got some stuff to do. Janelle Antia, ooh, if you're, this goes for anyone in here, into candles, a good hack. Get a wax, okay, candles are taking over this Q&A. Get a wax burner and put some Downy Unstoppables in it. Your whole room will smell amazing. A wax burner and put some Downy Unstoppables in it. I don't really know what that means, but I appreciate the advice. I'm going to LA next week. Do you have any recommendations for places to do tourist things and restaurants to eat at? What to do in LA? It depends on what you're into. I'm not into most things that people are into, actually. So I ain't gonna give you any like cool parties or clubs to go to. If you're from the East Coast, I would recommend Roscoe's just to do it. It depends on what you're into. Like, I like barcades. So, there's a bar called Blipsy's on Western that like has mini golf and arcade games and pool and stuff and alcohol. And there's a bar nearby that plays like old school quarter games like Pac-Man and Donkey Kong and Galaga. Like, that's a date night to me. But like, that's the type of girls I'll be dating. Sorry, my lips were really dry. What else? Definitely, you gotta go to Santa Monica, the pier, just cause like, I would go to Hollywood Boulevard. Not at night, but I would go just cause the culture there is really, really cool if you've never been. That's a good question. Go to Little Tokyo. Okay, I'll give you a suggestion. Go to Little Japan. It's a really cool outside mall. Everything is Japanese architecture. You can get, sushi, ramen, little trinkets. That's where I get like all my like bandanas and stuff. So yeah. But if you're not into like, all that stuff, then, go to the pier. If you're into that stuff, go to like the pier and Hollywood and clubs. Nicholas Cagle, when you are out and about, do you still make time for your conspiracy corner? I mean, I have to because, the podcast. But I could use some suggestions if you guys want to send me some. With working wild, I haven't been able to plan. I've been literally planning my whole podcast out like the morning of. So I mean, I'll take whatever suggestions you got. Super casual boom. Respect for answering, man. Of course, I appreciate that. Now for something a little silly. If Patrick, excuse me, if Patrick got an exclusive Yankee Candle deal scene, what scent would he choose and the name? All right, I like this guy. You ask good questions. My scent would be delicious. I don't think I'd go like the floral route. I think it would have to be delicious. All right, I got my scent. My scent would be called Cookies and Muffins, and it'd have me in a chef, like a classic chef outfit with the apron and the hat, but all blacked out. So like blacked out apron, blacked out chef hat, and gold chains. And I got a plate of a pan of cookies and a pan of muffins, and I'm doing like the squat, the jail squat, and and there's like a big ass cookie and a big ass muffin, but they like kind of like niggas back to back, and they're like huge and they're like back to back, and they have chains and glasses too. It's like a cookie nigga and a muffin nigga, and I'm doing the jail squat with the pan, and it tastes like when you walk into the room, it smells like some nigga cooking cookies. Oh shit, is nigga cooking muffins? Y'all got ovens on opposite sides of the room. It's gonna be like some sensation like that. I really appreciate you asking me that. Jamila Bailey, are you going to create your own production company? If so, what do you want the focus to be? I absolutely plan on making a production company. I think that it can have a bunch of focuses. I really like the idea of releasing stuff for free on the internet. I think that there will never be a point in my career where I don't. So I think that constant free programming is important. So I think that there will be a huge focus on YouTube or whatever the platform is, YouTube and stuff like that to keep. Cause I like the idea of cheering up people at work or that are having a good day, a bad day. Like I think that like platforms like Netflix is a whole. It's its own thing. Like you don't really be watching. Well, maybe some of you do, but you're way less likely to turn on Netflix at work or just casually to cheer you up real quick. That's kind of like lay down. Like I have some chill time. Now I could watch Netflix. I could really indulge. I like the idea of content being just there at your phone if you're feeling shitty or if you're bored at work, because that's who I helped on my way up. That's who All Def's first fans were. You know what I mean? It was just people at work who were bored or people who were in a bad mood. When Roast Me blew up, I started getting messages of the healing aspect of it. So I think there will always be a need for that. So I think that, obviously that's expensive. So there will be a big sponsorship or branded attachment to that stuff. But I think that my production company would have a focus in free content. And then there will be a premium team, most likely, working on Netflix, movie, TV, if that's even still a thing. Yeah, I think that it's really content, and then it's actually structured similar to All Def, because I've seen and contributed to that skeleton for the past 5 years. So and then just like All Def, I would definitely want a music aspect. I think I'm really knowledgeable in that aspect, and I know a lot of ways. A lot of these companies don't know how to find the new people, but I'm sort of like boots on the ground, ear to the streets. So I know a lot of the comics that Hollywood doesn't care about that are stars, and I know a lot of musicians that Hollywood doesn't care about that are stars, and a lot of these people in the executive positions they would hire somebody like me to find that stuff out. So I think it's a very, very simple thing. So yes, I wanna have a very lucrative production company. Okay, I gotta. This question and answer. You guys are asking so many good questions. I was actually supposed to bring my dog in for an appointment at 10, so this was only supposed to be 30 minutes. I obviously am not gonna make it, and I wish I could stay on live, but at some point I gotta jump off of here and call them to tell them I'm not coming. Damn it. Maybe I'll just be a no call, no show. Cause I love you guys. Hey, thank you. Super casual boom. That's why I'm cool to support you on Patreon. You deserve all the props you deserve. I don't like even reading comments like that out loud because I feel like I'm tooting my own horn, but I really, 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 really appreciate that super casual boom. Jamila, you're literally my favorite person in the world. I found your Twitter. Trying my own original idea thing and have tons of material all set and ready to go, but my anxiety be kicking me in the head because all my attempts in life been auto fail. Advice to fight it. Super casual boom, that's a great question. So you are suffering from what's called gambler's fallacy. I learned about this in school. So I took a psychology class, and my favorite part, and I got obsessed with it, was learning about arguments and fallacies. And a fallacy is basically a hole in somebody's argument. So, for instance, if we're having an argument and your point is, I don't think. I don't think your profile and your content is meaningful. That's your point. And then my rebuttal to that is, who's gonna listen to you? You have a big head. That's a fallacy. What my argument had nothing to do with your point. I just attacked you. That's what's called the fallacy. So those are mistakes in people's arguments that you can pretty much break down like a science. So what you're suffering from is actually called gambler's fallacy, and that is the belief that if you keep winning or keep losing at something, the next try will be a win or a loss based on your past attempt. And it's called that because people, when they play craps, if they're on a hot streak, let's say I rolled seven 11s in a row. I think in my head, oh, this next one will most likely be an 11 because those other ones are. That's not true. Each roll is its own thing. It's not going to be more likely a 7 because I'm on a streak. Does that make sense? And a lot of people think that, if they keep failing or if they keep winning, the next one will automatically be one of those things based on how it's been going. That's not how it works. You have to approach each attempt and try as its own thing. So yeah, you probably had a lot of fails. Guess who else has? Everybody. Everybody who is successful in the fields that you want to be in, you're basically watching their highlight reel. You're watching the good stuff. You're not watching all the fails and the attempts and the retries and the you ain't shits and you're never gonna do it and oh shit, I don't think I'm ever gonna do it. You don't see all that stuff. So you have to be, if you really want to make it in what you want to do, you have to be okay with failing until you're like 50. You know what I mean? Like Morgan Freeman got his first major role at like 50. So that means unless he started acting at 45, which I doubt, he probably had multiple times where he was like, I'm not that good. It's probably just not gonna happen. You know what I mean? But that is going to feel so much better when it actually does happen. That's really the only time it can feel good, because what's your alternative? To give up and be miserable for the rest of your life? Giving up is really the only way you can fail if you think about it, because each fail should be thought of as a lesson. So if you fail and learn from it, it's not a fail. But if you fail and give up, then then you failed. So I don't know exactly what you're talking about doing, but you got to get over that shit. Danielle Edmondson. Okay, we haven't heard from you yet. Hi, I really love and appreciate your work. Thank you. I find it dope as fuck how you make yourself available to your fans and how you spread love, positivity. Thank you for your cameo. Donnie is short for Danielle. Oh, okay, so I did a cameo for you. I appreciate you asking for one. I want to do more. Now that I know how to do stuff like this, I definitely want to make sure I can talk to you guys one-on-one more. But, I also want to make it available to everybody. So, don't be mad if I, maybe do one of these a week for everybody. Because, everybody's going through something. I want to make sure that, I can talk with anybody one-on-one. And that was one thing about Patreon that was weird about me. I never want to make my followers feel like they have to pay or just for something as simple as a conversation with me. I just want this to be an added feature for you guys because you guys are so nice to support me on Patreon. I don't want to make it seem like I'm only doing live for if you give up that bread. You know what I mean? Like, I make so much stuff, like I'll have stuff for you to buy, like I'll always have stuff for you guys to support with money, but I never want you guys to be in a position where you feel like you can't get access to any Patrick Cloud stuff unless you pay in monthly. Like, that's never how I'll be. But I understand how cool this website is, so I just want to make sure that you guys are taken care of for being so damn cool to me. All that hard earned money. And also, thank you for asking for me on Cameo. Jamila Texiera. Thanks, Pat. I'll hit up some of those places. Bet. Conspiracy corner idea from Janelle. In history class when I was in high school, my teacher told us about a side story about Marilyn Monroe and JFK had a little thing going on. Oh, that's not a conspiracy. He was the cause of her death? Nah. Are you and K-Rud gonna drop an album? Y'all are bomb-ass duo. Thank you. We actually have a EP called Up in the Clouds dropping this weekend or early next week, so look out for that. Danielle, see what I mean? Patrick Cloud for President 2020. Hey, never. I will never get into politics. But that seems like a really cool hour. We just pushed an hour. I want to thank you guys so much for even caring about this. And just, $5, $20. Like, if you are a patron of mine, I appreciate you. That's really cool. And yeah, I'm always open to suggestions. You guys are in the driver's seat. You know what I mean? I want to make sure I take care of you guys. So, I'm gonna make sure to play more piano for you guys. Do more of these one-on-one things. I'm taking suggestions if you think there might be something cool that you want to see. Maybe some exclusive music, some videos early. I'm always looking out for you guys. So you guys have a fantastic weekend. Make sure you protect your light out there. And yeah, till next time, guys.